Welcome to the Gaggle, where we talk politics in Arizona and beyond. This week, Arizona's foster care oversight has a diversity problem, and one congressman's district office is not in his district. But we start where we started probably the last couple of weeks, and that's with the evolving sexual harassment. Can we call it a scandal now, Dustin?
I think we can officially call it a scandal at this point.
What's going on? What are the latest developments?
So the Don Shooter saga keeps dragging out. There are now 7 women who have publicly accused him of making inappropriate comments or otherwise sexually harassing them. There's just been an avalanche of new complaints in the last week. The people accusing him include 3 state lawmakers, Mia Parrish, the president and publisher of the Arizona Republic. We also have a lobbyist, a former Capital Times intern, and now a woman who works for a risk management company that was at a League of Cities and Towns conference where she says Don Shooter harassed her. So we've just got a whole litany of accusers coming forward.
So J.D. Mesnard, House Speaker, has an ongoing investigation, or commissioned one. What is the timeline on that? Is that supposed to wrap up anytime soon?
Yeah, so the Speaker has said that he hopes to finish this before the session starts in January, but it's completely unclear at this point if that's going to happen. There is a panel of, or an investigative team of attorneys and staffers, a bipartisan team in the House. They are leading the investigation. They've decided to hire outside counsel to do the investigating. It's unclear what law firm is going to do that at this point. They're supposed to make that decision sometime mid this week.
And is there any pressure on Don Shooter to step aside?
Yeah, there's been pretty significant pressure on him to resign. The Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry, one of the most powerful business organizations in the state, they've called on him to resign. Many notable Democrats, prominent Democrats have called on him to resign. So far, there's not been a lot of Republican push for him to resign, but that pressure seems to be intensifying with each new accusation.
Maria, so you wrote about the Foster Care Review Board, and a lot of people probably aren't familiar with that, but they have a say as the juvenile court system oversees foster care cases. And your story said that they have a big diversity problem. How bad?
So these citizen review boards, which are volunteer, are supposed to reflect or mirror the communities they serve, both in terms of race and ethnicity and socioeconomic background. Right now, or I guess as of earlier this year, about 60% of kids in foster care in Arizona were from minority groups. About 90% of the board members statewide, as well as in Maricopa County, are white.
So state lawmakers were the ones who mandated that they look like the communities they serve. Why did they want that, or why is that a good thing?
It was basically, that decision was made in an effort to try to ensure fair treatment. Of course, when you talk about diversity on these boards, it's not to say that somebody who is white couldn't make a fair decision, or that somebody who's from a minority group is now an expert on all these groups. But the more diverse the boards are, the thinking was, the more likely you are to ensure a fair outcome for the kids whose placements they're weighing in on.
And one thing you noted in the story is that the people going through the system then also have a sense that they're being heard when sometimes they
Right,
have
exactly. So of course, kind of the relationship, if you're facing removal of a child, whether that's temporary or permanent, is kind of going to be antagonistic to start with. You might feel unfairly judged by the system or dismissed, and then it kind of compounds it if you are a minority and you go in front of this board and you're, for example, Native American or African American, and everybody at this table is white. That's helping decide the fate of your kid, your family.
So Ron, Tom O'Halleran, Congressman, has the biggest district in the state, no question. It's massive, goes from all the way north to near Tucson, and yet he couldn't find a spot for his district office in that big expanse.
Yeah, that's the story. Basically, Tom, who is a freshman Democrat representing that sprawling first district, said that he wanted an office in that lower southern end of his district, and he couldn't find anything that was affordable in the area where he wanted to be. He wanted to be somewhat close to the business corridors of that district. He also wanted to pay something that was a more affordable rent. The one that he chose was $400. It's a half-mile outside his district. It's not forever, but it's a half-mile outside this 58,000 square mile district. The only one that he was seeing within the district was like $1,200 a month. So Tom thought it was worth doing. Republicans think it's a bit of an embarrassment.
Bit of a gaffe. Well, holidays are almost here. It's holiday movie time. Maria, what movie are you going to go see this holiday season?
Going to go see in theaters or just a holiday tradition movie? Because I always watch A
Either
Christmas
one.
Story
Your
at
choice.
least 2 or 3 times with my family and alone. Have all the
Christmas
lines
Story person.
memorized.
How about you, Ron?
It's not the holidays without Bad Santa and Billy Bob Thornton. So.
I love Home Alone versions 1 and 2. That's our family tradition.
Christmas Vacation for me. So that's it for the Gaggle this week. We'll be back next week.